So in this video, going to go over CRVO. So this one made a nice run yesterday. It's continuing today. So the last news was actually a few days ago, and it didn't do anything on that. And this positive results from phase 2B trial. Actually, what seemed to have got it moving was this pump here on stocks.news. So they do promotions, both paid and unpaid. This was an uncompensated promotion. So anyways, going back to the news here, just to kind of see what the story is. They, back in December, they actually originally announced that they didn't meet the endpoint for this phase 2B trial. So that's why it gapped down big. And they reasoned that the dosage wasn't high enough. So then they have this extension trial, which they released results for on March, where they're saying that the dosage was high enough, and then it resulted in positive data. So basically, the bull case is that the theoretical bull case. I'm not a biotech expert, so I don't really know. I'm not really good at interpreting this data. But the bull case is that, well, since the new data, I guess, sort of addresses the failed results from the previous trial, so it should technically fill the gap. And then on the bear side is that, well, then that's the max upside. That best case scenario is that maybe it fills the gap. And then also there's some offering risk on this one. So we go to the dilution tab here. They actually are okay with cash. And also, just to show something else here, we go to the insights, this financials and funding. You see that the trial is actually funded by $21 million. So they seem okay cash wise. But that said, they did file this shelf here, October 2024. So it was a couple months before they released data. So I would imagine that they were probably hoping to get good results and to raise capital because they still have they want to do a phase 3 trial, and those are expensive. But it obviously failed, so it didn't get to make use of it. So I guess the bear case is that they now will use this run up to raise capital. And on top of that, they're over baby shelf right now. But as I've gone over in past videos, they will be subject to it when they file their 10K. They'll be reevaluated for it, which last year was on March 29th. So that's coming up. So you could also make the case that they're going to try to raise as much money as possible. So I guess overall, the way I would play it is that I've seen these before. I'm trying to think of some other examples where it does. I mean, I don't know. It's sometimes it does fill the gap and sometimes it doesn't. I wish I had enough time to go back and look at more examples of this. But I do think that at least short term, once it does get closer to that gap fill, I guess it was like around 11 or higher, then I would imagine that there's a little bit less demand up there, because then I guess the bull case isn't as valid anymore, because originally down here it's that it should fill the gap and get back to where it was when it released the negative data. Whereas when it gets closer to that, the bull case isn't as strong. And then also there's the risk of an offering coming. So anyways, that's how I'm thinking about this one.